Hello and welcome to this week's episode of So Fired. I'm Chelsea Toronto.
I'm Dr. Lindsay Regier.
And welcome.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I'm doing so much better because I changed out of my giant sweatshirt I had on and into a t-shirt.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And what a cute t-shirt that is.
Thank you. Thanks, Chelsea's Closet, for supplying me with my wardrobe for today. This episode is brought to you by Chelsea's Closet.
Hilarious. Okay, so fired?
Yeah. Okay, so at work, I get kind of bored sometimes because it's a little bit like Groundhog's Day. I'm adjusting. I'm doing that literally all day, every day. It's kind of just over and over and over again. So when that happens, I just think, okay, I need to change my entire life and get a whole new career. And I just go into ultra spin mode. So I just recently went to go see my friend Taylor's office. She's another chiropractor in Denver. And she just moved from a one-room office into a multi-space office.
Awesome.
Similar to mine. It's so cute. It's so beautiful.
Congrats.
Congrats. So exciting. Watching her go from a one-room office to this multiple room office and a couple other disciplines. I'm like, wow, okay, if you're doing it, then I can do it.
Good for you.
And I was reiterated my competitive edge with myself.
See, I like that. Good for you.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to articulate that.
Yeah. So I'm pumped about that.
I'm pumped for you.
Yeah.
I love it when you get renewed.
I know. Work is more exciting now.
Oh, well, perfect.
Yay. What about you? What's your so fired moment?
So I went to a wedding this weekend, and let me back up. This so fired moment was an opportunity to turn back time and right a wrong that I that I did. So I was invited to go to a wedding. I missed the ceremony because I was still at work. This is a former coworker of mine. So the ceremony is 3:30. I actually didn't get there. I wasn't able to arrive at the very least until 8:30. I picked up another coworker. We go. But by the time we got there, this was at a house. There was only 7 cars there. We saw the DJ actually wheeling the stereo equipment out.
Yeesh.
So you could hear individual voices now. So it just felt like, if you go to a high school graduation at your friend's house, and at that point, all he has is his grandma and his aunts there. And really what you want to do is go to the after party. And you're like, let's go. Okay. So my friend turns to me and was like, what do you think? I was like, what do you think?
Let's go.
And I was like, let's go. Let's go before they see us. And it seemed like the right idea at the time. And we went and got milkshakes. It was so fun. Dropped them off at 9:30. But I have to tell you, at the table, I was riddled with guilt, kind of choking it down. This was not the right thing to do. You know what? I know what it feels like to need your friends to be at your wedding, blah, blah, blah. And when you're making excuses, oh, we're not that close. And she's got other friends there. Well, it turns out that might not have been the case. Okay, so long story short, I contacted another friend and I'm like, you know what? This is wrong. I absolutely have to do the right thing. So I met up with the bride and the groom and their party at 1UP. And she was so grateful to see me. And I almost felt guilty, don't thank me because 2 hours ago I wasn't coming. And you know what? I feel like life's been testing me lately and I've been passing. So to be able to be tested, recognize, oh shit, that was literally the wrong choice. And then to, by the grace of God, be able to turn back the hands of time.
Yeah, right, you're wrong in the moment. Yay, I'm happy you did that.
Me too.
Real growth moment.
But I did think to myself, Lindsay would say, let's get out of here.
I would. I'd be like, yeah, let's go. I don't ever want to be the first person at a party, and I don't want to be showing up when the party's over. So
yeah, you would have been by far the last.
Yeah.
And then it was awkward. We just made so many excuses as to why it was okay for us to not be there. Unacceptable.
Well,
okay.
So you know what? The
What?
year is basically over.
It is indeed.
There's 6 weeks, I think, when we're recording this between now and Christmas.
Doesn't that kind of give you heart
A
palpitations?
little bit. I was like, oh my God, we have to set up a strategy for work and this is about the events and all these things. I'm like, I have to amp it up. But since it is the end of the year, we thought we would do a year-end recap. And maybe
What are we going to do then when there are still a couple of Wednesdays left in the year?
Well, it's a new year.
We're going to make
a new year for us.
We're going to start resolutions. Because it really is. It's like that meme. It's let's circle back after the new year season.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
So I thought we would go through a year recap of highlights, lowlights, maybe give a little number rating to the year so far.
Look at you.
And how we can end the last few weeks strong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Bring up the average.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
If I needed to bring up my average.
If you needed to.
Okay, good. Let's go.
Okay. So
How are you going to do this?
I'm just going to kind of go from the beginning of the year to the end of the year.
Oh my God.
There's not that
And
many
here's
highlights in my
middle
life.
school.
Yeah.
Here's eighth
And then
grade.
here's my dog laying on her stomach. Here's my dog laying on her side. Here's my dog asking for
Here's her stuck in the mud. Okay.
Okay, so
All right. Do you have notes?
I do have notes.
Okay, let's do
Mhm.
this.
So let's start off beginning of the year. I had COVID. Yay.
Good.
That was how the year started, and I missed a whole week of work. I was kind of stressing out. I'm like, "Ugh, this isn't great." But the highlight was that I stopped drinking.
And
And I'm still not drinking.
it is a big
which-
deal. And you built a tiny home.
And I built a tiny home. Yeah, so like
That is a big deal.
it was such a big deal, and it was really a great month like of reset.
Indeed.
Yeah. How's your beginning of the year?
Oh, we're going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
I made some resolutions. One in particular was to read 52 books, and that's going. Let's see. I wanted to travel, and I did that. So, you just kind of set the intentions. I had a killer birthday party.
Yep.
That was really fun. Usually my birthday is a big flop.
Yep. But you had a great time.
It was fantastic.
And I wasn't even there, and it was still a good time.
Yes, you were at that
Not
dinner.
in Tahoe.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the dinner we went to.
Okay. Oh, wow. So her birthday dinner is better than a trip to Tahoe.
It
So
was.
wow.
Yeah, because you were there.
I know. I feel so honored.
Yeah, no, I don't
Wow.
even think about the other one as my
Oh,
birthday.
wow.
Yeah, no, that dinner was. Remember how hard I
Yeah.
laughed? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was at a Mexican restaurant with
It's
a
like,
mariachi
what?
band.
Tell me all the things you don't like about me.
So when we got to the dinner,
That was like dinner conversation. Like, tell me something you don't like about me.
okay, there's only 3 of us.
Yeah.
So it was the 2 of us and the friend that we are
We're no longer friends with.
friends with, and she was like, "Okay, here's an activity. Let's go around in a circle and talk and say one thing we don't like about each one of us." That is not why I like the birthday parties. But then it was like, okay, let's then go. I actually think it started with, let's go around and say one thing we like about Chelsea.
Yeah. Mhm.
Luckily, there was only 2 of you because
Yeah.
I don't think I could have taken that. And then it was like, tell me one thing you don't like about me. It took a real turn. But anyway,
But it was real fun.
so that was January.
Yeah. And then in February, said friend, I had a big blow up fight with her.
Was that in
So-
February?
Yeah, like end of February. But previous to that, I hosted this workshop because I was supposed to be doing a
Oh, yeah.
retreat in Cabo, and I was like amping up and doing workshops with like some coaching and yoga. And she came to this event, and like she actually really brought.
She participated.
yeah.
She understood the assignment.
She sure did. So it's such a good event, and we had a lot of interest in the retreat, which was amazing. I had a friend come visit as well that month with skiing. So it was so good.
This is more like what happened every month.
Yeah, but this is like the highlights.
Okay.
Okay, but then yeah, me and that friend got into a bad blow up fight. So
The
that
one
was,
we
like-
both got into. At the
Yeah.
end.
mhm. So it went a
Alright.
little rocky.
It went south.
And then that goes right into March. And then I was no longer friends with her.
Yeah, we
So-
both exited stage left.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would say the year was off to a rocky start in general.
It did feel a
but,
little rocky.
it upgraded. What about you?
I can't give you month by month.
Beginning of the year.
Yeah, I did feel a little like I thought at first, oh, I'm gonna learn a new skill every month, and then I kind of backed off of that. I don't remember. We celebrated my mom's 70th birthday. I kind of put that together. I don't know. I'm not really prepared for the assignment to be like, what I can tell you is what I have in my life that I didn't have last year.
Mm.
So I assembled my assignment just a little bit differently.
Okay.
So why don't you finish
I'll
your year
finish.
and then I'll tell you
Okay.
what I have.
Okay. So then the year started to turn around in May because we met Keisha, our favorite podcaster,
Oh, we did.
who we just had on our last episode, which
Right.
is so fun. And I got hair extensions. And my life has just been,
Oh, in May I got Botox for the first
Yeah.
time. Yeah. And my hair.
yeah, the hair.
And I feel like I feel like the
Mhm.
prettiest version of myself I've ever been.
Same.
It's not terrible, but
It's-
it's like I really feel
Yeah.
pretty for the first time ever.
And I was like, okay, so like a year ago, I think I was in some like coaching thing, and it's like, how do you know when you've really made it in life? I'm like, I know I've made it in life when I have hair extensions.
I
in
do
my hair.
remember you saying that.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I got hair extensions.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm just like a whole new, better person.
Kind of.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about feeling good in your own skin.
Mhm.
They keep talking about it. And if it's only about a little Botox and hair extensions, like, get it.
Yeah,
Double down, get it
after
now.
it.
Laser hair removal. I'd like to see that in my future too.
Same.
Okay.
I'd like to see that.
We're not talking about resolutions yet,
Nope.
Chelsea. Slow down.
And then we had our first live show in June.
Oh yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah, that was like a big thing.
Shit,
We led up to that for quite a while.
Yeah, that was a big one. That was a big push. And you're like, let's just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that was very exciting. And then like summer was like pretty fun, a couple adventures here and there.
We rented a boat for 4th of July.
Yep, we went.
Our annual boat ride.
Our annual boat ride on 4th of July. The dogs were there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
They had such a good time.
I love that we do that.
It was so good. And then Powerhouse was in August.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys didn't follow us on Instagram at the time,
We crushed it with those
yeah.
reels.
And we let everyone know that we're coming.
They knew it.
And
And
they
then
knew
they
it.
knew us when we got there.
Yep.
That might have been one of the top 5
That was
highlights.
like, one of my top 5 highlights.
I really sucked my teeth into that. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I get this. Okay.
So, yeah.
That was really very powerful.
Agreed. Then September, it's like my birthday month.
It is.
Oh, so fun. I went to Aspen.
I forgot it.
Just Chelsea forgot my birthday. Fine.
On air?
On air. Yeah. And I was on TV
Yeah.
for my TV segment.
Yes.
And then, October's been good. I feel like my fall has been full of more of activities.
Oh,
So
good.
it's really like
What kind of
on the
activities?
up and up. I went to that wedding last week in Texas.
Yeah.
My friend Taylor got married in September. I went to
Mhm.
Aspen. It was my anniversary. It was
You love this shit. Like, counting it off on her fingers. And I went to this wedding. Okay. All right. Let me not
well,
get
you
side-
wanted me to give you a
No, I like
year
it.
recap.
I want to hear your recap.
So, okay.
Recap.
Okay. And then also just like background on all of this, like my business also kind of determines a lot of how I think my year goes. And it started off okay, kind of went down in the middle of the year. It's on the upswing. Okay. So, with all that being said, how do you think I ranked my year? 0 to 10.
Like a 7.5.
Lower.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Despite all those things.
Despite all those things, I
Oh.
gave it a 6.7.
So low.
I know.
What would it have taken to be a 10, like closer to a 10?
If my business would have been like thriving more throughout the year, then that would have brought it up to 7.5 or an 8.
What else?
Honestly, that's like a big part of it.
So external
Yeah.
factors are what determine if
Right.
you have
And
a
I mean,
good
like
year.
the beginning of the year started off a little rocky, like the first few months with all like the friendship turmoil, and that was like a big stressor. So yeah, but I don't know. It's on the upswing. So
That's all that matters.
I am positive that I can get up to an 8 by the end of the year.
Why? Just because of business? Is business really the only thing that defines a
I mean,
successful year for you?
Well, my business is tied to like the money that I have, which is tied to like experiences that I can do, which is tied to like more fun that I can have in my life.
Wow.
And I guess
Wow.
I just tie a lot of my identity to like my success.
Holy shit.
So
Doozy.
yeah. So it's like literally like my life outside of this.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. That's reasonable. Sure.
So yeah. And I mean, November has been great. Keisha was on.
Yeah.
So that was super cool. Like, there's something else that happened. Hold on. I probably wrote a note. Why else is November great? Because my Christmas decorations are up and I'm so pumped about it.
I love that these things round out a solid year.
So like that's how I ranked my year based on things that happened to me. And I think you did kind of more of like what'd you say? Like things that you gained?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your year then.
I try and look, what do I have this year that I didn't necessarily have last year in non-tangible items? So I have increased solid friendships. So there are 3 different groups of people that I'm thinking of that are they're a regular part of my life. That didn't happen. They were friends.
Yeah.
But now they're pinned.
Big difference there.
Right. So now we have common interests. I reconnected with old college friends. That was a big milestone.
Oh, I remember that. That was the summertime when they were here for a couple weeks.
It's June.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really made an impact. So I'm about at some point to finish reading 52 books. I received one of the best compliments of my life yesterday from you when you said, "Oh my gosh, you read fast." And I've never heard that. Up until recently, I've been not a strong reader. I mean, if you'd asked me to read something aloud, I would die. So, and it just represents a resolution that might actually be reached.
Mhm.
So, hiking, I'm gonna ski. This, we made some real progress. Certainly, potentially dating.
Yeah.
That's a
Ooh,
real
that's a big one.
that's a big one. I just feel like I'm a little more well-rounded and I have interests.
Mhm. Yeah. I would say you gained more interests.
Indeed. Maybe it's because I don't really have a solid business that I can't. Last year I did, and that certainly did make me feel I was very proud of myself.
Mhm.
But this year, these are things that I couldn't. It took a lot of work to, not hard work, right, in the traditional sense, but like it took effort
Right.
to get what these things are, like hiking and hiking with friends and then maintaining friendships. And I don't know. So I'm sure there's highlights that I could go through each month. I don't remember what they are, but it does feel like the second half of the year, kind of maybe like, yes, June through now, it's really
Mhm.
picked up. Yeah, I did do some traveling. But again, I try not to look to external situations,
Right.
right? Does it mean that I didn't have a great year if I didn't travel internationally? I try not to do that.
Mm.
My health was solid. Everyone is alive and healthy.
That's a big win.
That's always a pretty
Mhm.
big one.
I think something I can take away from your year recap is that you are able to find like all the highlights internally and like something that isn't really measurable. Like all my things are so measurable and like a list of things that I did or like accomplished and like stuff like that. But I do want to try to find a way where I can just have like some internal satisfaction and like not rely on the outside.
I'd like to, and alternatively, I'd like to be able to draw some of those things. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to have a business or a career, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know that.
Yeah, that's
Um,
not your motivator.
it's not really my motivator. I don't know what my motivator is,
I think your internal satisfaction is more of your motivator and like overcoming like tough mental challenges
for sure.
is more of your motivator. Like that's why you love hiking so much. And I hate mental challenges.
You
Like
do, huh?
that's why I don't like hiking.
I just find that to be. I mean, like, what about your business and stuff?
I mean, that's more of like a puzzle and like a quiz. It's not like, oh my God, this sucks so bad and I just have to get to the end. It's more of like, okay, if I do this piece, how will it affect this piece?
No, I
Or-
get that.
yeah.
I'm really surprised you don't like mental challenges.
Maybe I just don't like hiking. I should maybe not group them together.
Okay.
'Cause, like, I'm not one to go out and, like, want to learn something new exactly.
No, you're not.
No. I'm like, I know what I know, and I like what I like, and, like, if I learn something new, that's cool, but I'm not, like, ever really seeking it out
It's
100%.
incredible to me.
Yeah,
That's all I do.
I know,
It's exhausting sometimes.
but that's, like, your internal satisfaction. So, like, when you want to learn something new every single month, I'm like, "Wow, that's, like, a really good challenge. I commend you for that."
Yeah, and people in March were like, "What's Marches?" And I was like, "Ah, we have to abandon that, and we're gonna stick with reading."
Yeah, and reading I love reading so much.
I have learned to love reading.
Mhm. I think I don't like to learn a bunch of new things because 'cause I've already learned a lot of things. I'm like, I've been in school for so long. It's like, I'm like
I know, but
traumatized from being in
you
school.
could learn like a language or an instrument.
I could brush up on my piano skills, learn some new songs. I
What
always
about
say I want to do that, but like,
what about creating tiny homes? You did that?
yeah, I like creating tiny homes. That's more of like a meditative solitude
Still learning a
activity.
new activity.
Yeah, I guess maybe I do want to learn how to like play piano better. Get back
Okay.
to where I was at.
But not necessarily learning a new activity or
Not
skill.
really, because I think this is why I don't like to do it, because if I can't dedicate all the time to it,
Yeah, I get that.
then it's, like, really challenging for me. Mhm. But I have a maybe I should save this for, like, when we talk about resolutions and goals for next year,
Well,
but
let's say it now and then say it again when I forget.
okay, you're gonna think this is so
I
ridiculous.
can't wait.
Okay,
Oh, man.
this is where I like the challenge.
Oh, good.
Mhm.
Good, good, good. Wait, I wanna grade my year.
Oh, yeah, grade your
I
year.
think it's an 8.5.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Do you wanna get it any higher by the end of the
I don't
year?
give a shit. I just hope it stays right here. We don't want any, like, stock market dips here. I don't know what could make it better. If I get a
Okay.
boyfriend,
Yeah.
that'd be
That'll
cool.
amp it up to a 10?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would kind of, because that would round out, like, the emotional and, like, connection and maybe even a physical connection of some
Mhm.
sort. That would round it out.
I like that.
I do too. I would like that. I would like that very much. Okay, so what were you gonna say is your resolution?
Okay. This
Okay, let's
I'm
get
like
because I can't.
I'm just like cringing at
Okay, well then
saying
just
it
say it. I can't
because
wait.
it sounds so
Oh,
superficial.
great. I
Yeah.
look forward to this.
Well, this is
Yeah,
what I'm
just
thinking.
go. Fast as you can. I can't wait.
I want to be on the cover of a fitness magazine.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I'm not cringe for you.
Oh,
You certainly work hard enough. You should.
I do. I'm gonna like
You're
double
gonna be
down on it.
like your upswell pics,
Yeah.
but you're never gonna eat again
I will eat again
after.
after. After I get the cover, then I'll eat again.
Would you have a which one? And do you want?
Strong magazine. It's
Is
the
it
first one.
would you do a digital or would you do a print?
A print.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I got this little bug in my head because excuse you. Because there is this PR person that I follow, and she is not like in the fitness world at all, but she got on the cover of a fitness magazine purely just because she like talks about how fitness helps her in like business and life and everything else. I'm like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it.
Oh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. You just
So,
haven't put your mind to it yet.
exactly.
Well, do you have any other cringe things for 2023?
No, that's it.
Oh, I know what I scoffed at your question, but I think what would increase, I think by
Oh yeah.
sewing, making something and maybe making two things and not stopping at one, that would certainly increase it to a 9
Oh.
because that does really fulfill me and I feel like a better, more well-rounded person and it does add a lot of purpose to my life. I was hiking the other day with a friend of mine and I was like, I don't have a purpose to life. And my friend said, well, do you really need one? Maybe you don't need one. And I was like, okay, I like that
Okay.
idea. You're right.
I mean,
Do we?
don't- I think you do.
Of course you think we do.
I well, I know that we do. I'll say that. Because if you don't have a purpose, then what are you getting up every day for?
That's what I ask myself when I don't want to get out of bed. That's
Right.
why I'm like, because there are days where I do feel like that.
Yeah. So maybe I think also for 2023, I just want to find more like internal happiness purpose.
I want to find more external happiness.
I'll give you some of mine. Give me some of yours.
Ooh, I'd like
It's
to get a tattoo
yeah.
before the end of the year.
Oh,
We keep
okay.
talking about that.
We
Or maybe
do.
after birthday. I'd like to get it done this year.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait till my birthday.
Well, the year's almost over, so we
It
better
is over.
hop to it.
Awesome.
Yep. Okay. Well, if you guys think the year's also over, like we do,
Just mail it in.
mail it in. Get that email setting set up where it's auto responding. Let's circle back after the new year.
Put
And
everything on hold.
yep. And let
Yeah.
us know what your highlights were of the year because I love to celebrate everyone and what they accomplished.
And send us your cringe for 2023 because we like to celebrate those.
100%.
We should do an episode all things cringe.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Next week?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
All right. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.